Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Foster, and today we're going to do a quick breakdown of why Call of Duty needs dedicated servers. The three logos you see at the bottom of your screen are property of their respective owners. That's the Treyarch, Activision, and Raven Studios logo. First thing we're going to start with today is why the peer-to-peer networking model doesn't work, and that's the model that's currently in place where you are connecting to other peers playing the game, other clients playing the game, and they are hosting. Now, the first problem with that is malicious peers, and those are the peers that are trying to affect your gameplay intentionally. And a peer is just another gamer you're playing with, another person on another console, for future reference. So the first problem is with malicious peers is lag switching, and a lag switch is something that stops the flow of data through your connection to the host's connection, the other player's connection. That's something they intentionally make, and basically it's just an Ethernet cable with a switch stopping the flow of data between their Xbox and the internet. What this does is it allows them to turn it on and freeze your character on their screen, get a kill, turn it off, and then still earn the kill after freezing you. It's a huge problem, and it's become an epidemic for the franchise over the past 3 years after it became known as a possibility. The second issue is man-in-the-middle based IP resolving or denial of service attacks. And a big problem with that is with the esports industry getting as large as it has, people are starting to DDoS or run a distributed denial of service attack against players who are currently competing in esports matches over the network, both Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. They're attacking players to prevent them from getting the scores they need to qualify for games. It's a large issue because you can find the IP address of other clients playing and do malicious things with that. The third issue is going to be game-based modifications like hosting hacked lobbies. This became a huge problem in Modern Warfare 2 especially, and it still is a huge problem with Modern Warfare 2 especially now that Infinity Ward is no longer issuing updates for that game. Basically, you have to be host to quote-unquote infect other players with your hacked lobby, and if you remove the capability of players being host by including dedicated servers, we would literally remove 95% of hacked lobbies from Call of Duty. Second problem with the peer-to-peer networking model is slow connections. If a client ends up being host and they have a slow uplink, or they end up with a slow uplink, say someone starts streaming Netflix on their network, it will unintentionally cause lag for the entire server. The entire game will just start lagging because of their slow uplink. And it's nothing that the client is intentionally doing, but if someone starts streaming Netflix or they start listening to music on YouTube and it slows their connection down, it ruins it for everyone. Third problem with peer-to-peer networking is the guaranteed latency between you and the other person. There's going to be unpredictable latency between all of the clients based on the distance between their connections. So if I live, in California and I'm going to try to connect to a player in Wisconsin, it's going to have a huge latency between mine and their connection, which is going to instantly cause me lag. I believe Call of Duty's peer-to-peer networking model tries to match you up with games closer to you, but I'm not positive on that, and it would make sense if it did, but I don't think it does personally. Now, the fourth problem with peer-to-peer networking is host migrations. There's going to be a 15 to 20 second pause in the game if a host leaves the game and it has to migrate. That's just a huge inconvenience to players, and it's unnecessary because we could add dedicated servers to the game. Second problem with host migrations is sometimes the game can't find a new host and the game ends prematurely, completely ruining any kill streak, scores, anything else like that you've earned throughout the game, which is an extreme annoyance. Second thing we're going to look at here is what dedicated servers would bring to the game. We'd have consistent connections, which means lag switching would no longer be a capability because you'd be connecting to a server in the middle of you and the other clients versus connecting to another client, having them have control of the game. Second thing with consistent connections is there'd be minimal lag compared to the peer-to-peer model because you're connecting directly to a server versus to another client. The servers run faster. There's usually a lot less latency between you and the server versus you and another player. Second thing is content delivery network-based networking, which means they could make it so you could connect to a client closest to you, a closer data center to you, and then connect you to a data center that hosts the game's mainframe. And that would prevent lag even more because you'd be connecting to a server in your city, in your state, or only a state away. Third thing with dedicated servers would be the prevention of hacked lobbies, because direct connections to dedicated servers would prevent a peer from hosting on-site scripts for other clients, which would just ruin the majority of hacked lobbies, because then they couldn't infect other players and it wouldn't spread out. Third thing is why we don't already have dedicated servers, and that's because the current peer-to-peer model is free, which means the companies like Treyarch, Activision, Raven Studios, Infinity Ward, they don't have to put money into peer-to-peer networking. It's already there. As soon as players are playing the game, it's already there. They don't have to pay a dime for that. Dedicated servers are also very expensive, and the cost becomes more as you get more players and more servers. I broke that down in a further slide. Third thing is modifications to the current engine. Call of Duty has used the same engine since the beginning. The first Call of Duty used a Quake 3 engine. And writing a new networking engine is going to be a large expense to them. It's going to take time, and I guarantee you they wouldn't be able to do it by the release of Black Ops 3. And the third thing is going to be don't fix it if it isn't broken. The way Activision, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Raven Studios looks at it is consumers are still going to buy their game whether or not we have dedicated servers, and we need to tell them that that isn't the case. All of these 13-year-old kids who don't know anything about the networking and then they just play through the lag. That's the problem, because the consumer is just going to continue to purchase the game regardless, and us too, we're all going to just go out and buy the game regardless of whether we say we're not going to, whether we get dedicated servers or not. The consumer is just going to keep purchasing the game regardless of if they add a new expense of dedicated servers. Fourth thing is expensive dedicated servers is what I'm going to break down here. Assuming that Treyarch Activision partners with Amazon AWS, which is a dedicated server provider, and they don't get any benefits. The smallest viable server for hosting a game server is about 12 cents an hour, which comes out to $40 a year per server. And it would likely require one server for every 10 to 20 matches if it's coded properly, if they make everything work properly and they don't just use some crappy code. Activision said that players played more than 370 million online matches in Advanced Warfare in its first week. So we take that number and we divide it by 15 matches for that's in the middle of every 10 to 20 matches. Like I said, it would require one server for every 10 to 20 matches. We're going with a middle 15. That's 246 million servers, and that's times $40 a year. We come up to about $986 million, almost $987 million a year in server costs. It would basically take all of day one's sales profit, which is, with Call of Duty Ghosts, they made about $1 billion in day one sales. It's an extreme expense, and it's something they don't want to put money towards. Now, Treyarch and Activision could most likely get deals for their servers costing much less. They already have partnerships with dedicated servers for PC, and I'm sure they could get a lot better of a price tag, but it still comes down to how expensive it would be. So in the end, it's definitely a viable, if not necessary, solution for the Call of Duty franchise for it to continue to strive as it has. They'd probably get more profit because they would be able to show players that are hardcore gamers that they're not going to have any more lag problems and they're not going to have hacking anymore. It would bring back a lot of the old players who literally have given up on Call of Duty. It would eliminate most of the hacked lobbies that plague the franchise, which is especially what happened in Modern Warfare 2, since you couldn't find a lobby for a while in Modern Warfare 2 without it having hacks in it. It would eliminate most of the lag, which also plagues the series, especially lag switching. That's just ruined the game. Now I'm going to make a petition, and I'm going to put it in the description. Make sure you sign the petition telling these studios that we want dedicated servers, and that way they know that we will not continue to purchase the game unless they add dedicated servers to the game. I thank you guys for watching. I hope I didn't ramble or bore you guys too much. I'm going to be posting more videos here pretty soon, so make sure you drop a subscribe, and I will have more videos like this, and I will be taking requests in the comments as well if you want information or you want me to break something down for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, a subscribe, and even a comment, and I will talk to you guys soon.